From all of the game's genres, I'm sure the open world is one of the most played games on the mobile, because open world games can be picked into a different type of concept such as an MMORPG, RPG or action RPG. Remember to like this video and please enjoy the video out. Top 13 Best Open World Games of 2026. MMORPG, RPG, ARPG for Android and iOS. You guys can support this channel by sending a super thanks, and our team will appreciate that. Mojo, start dive, sit tight and get this game now on the Play Store and App Store freely. Trust me, you will love to see how fun this game is. The storyline is pretty interesting with so much humor. Dialogue will show up often. The story will begin within two of the young teenagers. They all are switchable characters that you can pick freely as your main hero to navigate and control. The main gameplay is a hack and slash based with a very fast-paced combat battle that allows the player to do some action like parrying and dodging. Once we switch the hero, then it will trigger an entrance strike. The developer give an option for the player to experience a casual level or a difficult level. It will determine how strong the enemy is. By the way, we can do an auto path finding to reach the next mission in auto mode, but once we get into the battle, then we should clear everything manually, which is now autoplay game RPG. Mojo Star Dive is the best new open world game mobile with an anime art style 2026 for Android and iOS. Braco Kingdom. This game is absolutely beautiful. The nature, the landscape, the ambience, and how the game has a very cute design of the characters and monster design. It's kind of a Pokemon games like where the player can catch the monster and he will become our pet once it is successful. Every pet has a different kind of elements like fire, water, and leaves, so it's pretty important to make a good synergy element weaknesses to deal extra damage to the enemy. This new open world game has so much action we actually can do to explore the immersive world by swimming, climbing, running, and jumping. Even though it's kind of a seamless open world base, but surprisingly, the game runs super smooth on the mobile platform. Through this video, you can enjoy how smooth the gameplay looks. It's just magnificent. I will really give a huge appreciation to the game's developer for this top-class optimization. The combat mechanism is a turn-based, switching the path to adjust the combat style will be so useful. Crisis X. If I could remember, this game was in development for more than a few years already. I'm sure it will release globally because it has an English version already. The game will start from a very mysterious story where the zombie suddenly saves the entire world. I love how we should face 100 zombies at the same time, which make the device will get so hit within a few minutes so fast. The game do a great job on rendering the graphic, it well on representing what is the dark fantasy is. The voiceover, the dialogue is well on delivering the storyline. Even we will get some narration along the adventure. We can do some creative action like building the home, crafting the tools, good or items, which make the player need to always checking on every hidden area to gather some resources, hit the zombie with gun or switch the weapon with a long knife to fight in a close combat. Trust me, this game has a very huge world. Dragon Sword. I will give a huge news about this game. Seriously, the developer made a huge update from an MMORPG become a single-player action RPG. Basically, the whole game's environment and also the world is exactly the same, but they just make a difference on the gameplay. As we all know, it was an MMORPG and focused on gacha base, but right now they didn't put any gacha system. So it doesn't have any microtransaction at all. It will launch on Steam as well as a single player, but we can make a co-op with friends and select any random player while we are waiting in the lobby. Can you imagine it will be playable on the Steam Deck, which make the player play the game anywhere. Let's get back how the combat mechanism will work. It will have the debuff-buff system and also how we can grapple the enemy while in the air, which make a great air combat system. Even we can climb to a huge monster just like what we always see in the Monster Hunter game. All of the characters can be acquired through the main storyline and after completing the quest. Absolutely, Dragon Sword is the best new open world games on mobile 2026. My Time at Sandrock Mobile. Have you ever heard about My Time at Portea? This is the new version that will have the exact gameplay mechanism as the previous version. Even the graphic and visual looks pretty similar and identical. The difference part is only the storyline. Unfortunately, the game is now in development and I can't understand the dialogue because it's not in English yet. As an adventure, we can pick 4 different kinds of weapons to start your journey, such as a broadsword, dual sword, sword and shield, and of course the javelin. screen, so there is no long-range weapon that we can select at all. The combat mechanism is pretty simple because there are only 3 main buttons we actually can tap: regular attack, jumping, and also dodge. It's because the developer are focused on survival base and not in combat. That's why we can craft a lot of things and gather so many ingredients or resources. Explore the open world from any perspective in 360 degrees camera angle. Best open world game RPG, Android 2026 and iOS. Oceanhorn 3 Legend of the Shadow Sea. This game is absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best new open world games on mobile that looks so similar to The Legend of Zelda. The gameplay is absolutely fantastic. It looks so challenging. There are a lot of obstacles and puzzles that we need to solve, but the level is quite easy if you know and understand the pattern. Even as a newbie, you should be able to solve it. The main gameplay is a hack and slash base. We can use 2 combat styles of long range and also close range combat, so the strategy of knowing the enemy's combat style will be a huge advantage once you understand the pattern works. The world looks so beautiful with an ocean, desert, nature, and a medieval village that will easily hook you to experience the adventure. After they launch this new sequel, I'm sure the next sequel of Oceanhorn 3 will be released after, because the current version got a lot of good feedback. Absolutely, this game will be my top recommendation open world mobile 2026. Honor of Kings World. This game will break the gaming industry when it releases globally. Trust me, this game has the next level of graphic just like a AAA MMORPG. The game has a very authentic Chinese theme by the character design of the hero's outfit and also all of the cultures. Architecture building represent the Chinese theme base. The game's combat mechanism is pretty attractive with so many dynamic combat action we actually can experience that support a great camera angle. For the player who loves to play an action rather than the story, then I will highly recommend it to you. But anyway, the developer made a great effort on adding so many special cutscenes with the cinematic visual. The open world looks so engaging with a seamless concept, so you will never see any single loading screen when we are reaching a new area. A lot of co-op mode and boss raid mode that we can join with the other players and kill the boss monster together. Once Human. I can't imagine this beautiful open world game has such a good graphic and visual at all, and you know the game has optimized perfectly now. I would appreciate it to the creator for making it run so well on the mobile platform. Look at how smooth the entire gameplay is through my video. Playing the game in multiplayer is possible and doing it in real time. The dark fantasy theme is the main concept where the player will face a mutant or a strange creatures. If you love to play a survival with a huge creativity you need, surely you should play it. Because we can build a home base, crafting, and unlock new tools. Try to make a good decoration of outdoor or indoor. Kill the zombie, explore the dark vibes, and how we can interact with the NPC will give you a new point of view about the current situation. All of the conversation will have an option to pick a different answer, which make every single decision we made will have a different result at the end. So be wise on selecting it. Hunt the zombie with your crossbow, gun, and sword knife are some selection we can use in battle. Best open world game MMORPG 2026. Sword and Very Far Beyond Time. Not many players know if this game exists on mobile. It's because the game is only released in a certain country right now and we should log in within a special access, which is that not all players have the account of Bilibili. It will help you a lot to get a very interesting game's concept where the player will have a great combination of Wild World and Monster Hunter game. So we can capture the pet and ask the pet to work for us freely, like gathering some resources or collecting some material. So as a player can freely do any different activity like hunting the monster or following the main storyline. By the way, it's kind of a sandbox gameplay. Do whatever you want while exploring the huge open world. Even most of the enemy has a very huge size that will indicate if the monster hunter is the main inspiration. I love how they made a realistic visual with a 3D character model. It has a Chinese theme at all. The combat mechanism will hook you when you see if the hero can fly along the sky and release the skill. The best open world MMORPG 2026. Dinosaur's Isle Survival. I would like to shout out this game's developer who's trying to make such a great game that pretty much look like a Durango game, even better. We can tame the dinosaurs and ride the dinos, and even we actually can hit the other enemy while we are riding. This action is pretty good. Once you hit the target, then our pet will help us on dealing some hit. So we'll have a partner who will always come with us side by side. Nowadays, not many games have a top-down view perspective, and I think it's a pretty good game using this camera angle because we can see the whole area is wider, because most of the dinosaurs are pretty aggressive. Even when we have a further distance, they will notice of our presence. I hope it will become a multiplayer based as an MMORPG open world genre, best open world MMORPG 2026. Animo Mobile. This game is really promising. It's one of the best new ARPG on mobile that looks so good and interesting. For the first game's trailer, the game suddenly gets a huge attention and the official videos always reach more than 1 million. In game, the player can transform into a different kind of creatures, and each of the creators can use a different action to explore the world, like flying, climbing, running, and many more. It has an element base with the weaknesses point as the main synergy system that we need to learn and understand. The game's combat mechanism is a hack and slash game. We can fight side by side with the pet, or we become a creators and adjust the skill and combat playstyle. This game can be played on cross-platform for mobile and PC platform. Absolutely one of the best MMORPG 2026, open world game 2026 for mobile. NTE Neverness to Everness. It's been a while since the game announced for the global release. It does so much beta testing, especially on PC as the main priority before they develop on mobile. You know, we can do a lot of things daily, even if you don't have to follow the main mission and just enjoy the sandbox gameplay, where you don't have any limits by the time frame and doing so many mini games to kill your time. It has the current era where the machine and robotic are really progressing so fast. The combat mechanism is a hack and slash. Switch the hero up to 3 main characters. Make a good preparation by leveling up the hero's power, strength, and learn a new skill. The skill of animation is really amazing with so many details that we can notice. Anyway, the skill effect looks so flashy at all. Best open world game RPG for Android and iOS and PC 2026. Arknights Enfield. This game officially launched on mobile, so you guys can download it now on Play Store and App Store. Whenever you live, I'm sure you can play it now. It has a very good graphic and amazing storyline, but we really need to solve the puzzle because we'll often see it as the main obstacle that we need to learn how the pattern is. Explore the beautiful world with up to 4 main heroes, and I love to see we are running together and able to explore the world as we want. The world is set on the urban ambience with a futuristic concept. Before you play it, you must know if this game needs more than 20GB size in total to enjoy the whole gameplay. Remember to like this video and see you on the next list. Thanks.